The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us. Yeah.
At like 10:30 in the morning.
With a bunch of old people.
With blankets and shit. That's twice we've done that, right?
Yeah.
The other one was like the bike riders or something.
Yeah.
You know what else I noticed? That the old people like to sit on the out two.
Right.
The two by the aisle if they have to rush to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And by rush, I mean take 12 minutes.
Well, yeah. When our prostates start to go, we'll do the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great. And the coughing and the sneezing and the noises that go on. It's fucking awesome. Anyways,
eating popcorn with their mouth open.
And they whisper, but they're not really whispering.
No, they're not.
Okay, so Conclave. Rafe?
Yeah. I don't know why, but yeah.
Fiennes.
Yeah.
Rafe Fiennes. We should give him the Oscars too. All of them.
It was. There were a lot of really good performances.
Stanley Tucci is the man.
Yeah, when are we going to give? We got to find a way to give John Lithgow a fucking Oscar.
Facts.
I mean, he should have gotten it for Harry and the Hendersons, but
he should get it for almost all of his roles. Like that guy. Yeah, he was on Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah,
with our other boy.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, thank you. The three-named guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good at playing those slimy, awkward characters. Yeah. And this one, he was a cardinal doing it.
Correct. I mean, really good casting all around. Yeah.
Even the Italian, I didn't know who that guy was.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Brilliant. Very strong-willed individual.
He was brilliant. He really was. He was brilliant. So,
and very Catholic Italian.
Very.
We'll get to that.
Catholic Italian. Very. Isabella Rossellini.
Yep.
Oh man, she's really good too. And she didn't have a whole bunch of speaking lines, but you knew. Yeah, something was up.
Well, yeah. I mean, even the other actress that played the. Where were they? They weren't like Cameroon, but played the
Kenyan nun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Kenyan? Yeah.
She didn't even say a word, but
but she was
fucking,
really
like intense and owned her scene just by the looks. Yeah.
And having Isabella Rossellini speak for her, she is terrified. And then what was Ray Fiennes' official? I know he was Cardinal Lawrence, but what was his official title?
Well, he was like a dean.
I know he said he was a manager, but
right, but yeah, he was. I mean, not a bureaucrat, but he was, like a researcher or something like that. Like, he was in charge of the Vatican Library or something like that.
Okay.
But and it's like, and I always forget, like, we say dean, but in like Latin, it's like deacon. So,
right.
So
which is why we also have deacons.
Right. So effectively, he's a deacon. He was a deacon to the Pope until he had his crisis of faith, and then shifted into another role.
Into a manager role.
Right.
Management role.
Yeah.
Like in fucking Severance. God. You saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Sorry. The way the movie was shot was awesome too, and I don't know who that guy is. I looked on his IMDb, don't know.
I recognize a couple
did really
of things.
Well, so much so that we were questioning if they were really in the fucking Vatican or not.
Yeah, the set design was bananas.
And I want to know how accurate a lot of it was, like the sequestered hotel that they were in.
I mean, yeah, I think that's right.
Did you notice that the airflow, it was like, and when they closed the doors, what are they, like homogen?
Because they had the, like all the windows were shut and blocked. So
right.
yeah, so there's no outside airflow in there.
It was all of that was fantastic.
Well, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Claustrophobic.
Well, yeah, because it was like, so I kind of picked up on it. I think about halfway through, like, so they were all like still shots. Like he didn't zoom in on anything. Everything was just like establishing shot, and then like
conversation.
Cut,
your face, my face,
right.
Your face, my face.
Back to establishing.
Yep.
Like it was. Oh yeah, the guy did All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, that's
the remake of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't figure he did the other one.
Yeah,
170
I've seen a couple of episodes of The Terror, but I don't know which ones he did of that. But
okay,
he's good.
No, clearly he's good. Like this was good.
And I hope this is something that continues. I mean, here in the States we do it with A24, but I was sitting there just going like, it's so nice to see what looks like independent cinema coming back.
Christopher Nolan's really good at that. He did it good with Oppenheimer, but this. Okay.
This felt like a 1990s independent film with just they like an old Miramax where they were like somehow they got these big stars.
Yeah, that's exactly. Miramax is gross, but yes, Miramax.
Before we knew,
yes, Quentin Tarantino was real. That's how Quentin Tarantino became Quentin Tarantino. He was able to do an indie film and talk 85 of some of the quirkiest actors around. So yeah, right on with the casting. It is so regimented. Like it is just militant. Like I don't understand. Like this is gonna sound terrible, but I can understand why some of these priests lose their minds and do terrible shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Among other things, yeah.
Right, well, I'm on pent up other things. But, like, this just, it seems super authentic, I guess. It's not like your run-of-the-mill, like, a religious movie or whatever, priests. No, this was...
Well, there's the subtext of it, which is you're watching, and as far as I know, I mean, that's fairly accurate. Like,
that's what I was going to...
that they, and a lot of people... Catholic and non-Catholic don't really kind of get the idea like it is an election.
Yeah.
And but that they sit
and they campaign while they're sequestered.
But they do like they set up they're locked in the Sistine Chapel.
Yep.
And whenever they announce the vote, they sew it into this long line.
Yep. To prove that one's been counted.
Right.
And they've got like 3 guys, and then all the ones in the room are like, it looked like they were betting. Like they were writing down the spreads after every name was called.
Oh, you need to let DraftKings know about that. Maybe they'll allow sports betting on the next Pope.
Oh my God. And you have all the Cardinals and their fucking odds. I would bet on that in a heartbeat. So there was a couple shots in the movie where they were reading the name, and then, oh, look at this douchebag.
That's the only moment of his presidency I like, because he threw from the mound. I'll give him that.
And he threw a strike.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to center myself.
No, you're right, yeah. So
they would look, and then they would all look down at the same time.
Right.
And they would look, and then they would all... It was just... and that's how it was, and they all had their fucking binder in front of them. That, oh man, it was just and you forget about it all the time because it is literally run like a corporation.
Yeah.
You have your Pope here, and then his underlings. And
or let's just say, like, corporations got the idea from somewhere.
There you go. And then they send out their minions into the world to set up fast food spots. Franchises, as it were, of all over the world.
That's very good, yeah. Same messaging, same advertising.
Correct. All of that stuff. And you get your message here from the top. Jesuit Pope, of course, are going to be a little more lenient. Italian, Christian, Catholic, not so much. But all the...
It all depends, yeah. It depends on what order they're part of, but yeah.
Yeah, no, most definitely, yes.
But, yeah, it's... I mean, I like...
politicking?
Right, and like, that's what I really liked about this one. Like, the Netflix movie, The Two Popes, which was about when...
God, I need to watch that. That's the name of it.
When Benedict retires, and then they had the election, and...
who was in that?
Anthony Hopkins was Pope Benedict and Jonathan Pryce was
the other one?
Francis.
Jude Law played a pope on a TV show, right?
That was the young pope.
Okay.
But that, I mean, I mean,
I didn't watch it.
It has some value to it, but it was, I mean, it was the idea of like a more kind of crazy version of, I guess, what would have been like Pope John Paul II when they elect like a really young pope, and he's like, man, fuck it, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then everybody's in an uproar, and they're like, oh my God, he's not going to die for 50 years.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then they had the follow-up season was the old pope, and I think it was James Cromwell.
Yeah,
but,
see, I didn't watch any of that. All right,
but this, like this
so
one, even though, I mean, it's fictionalized, so
right.
It's not dealing with any modern day, but they did go more into the politic aspect,
correct.
Which is
like nominating a guy,
right?
Like
and
that. I mean, like doing
creating coalitions,
collectively nominating him, and then I will talk to my friends over here, and if we can get those 3 votes, we're closer to where we get, and then we can get rid of. Yeah, dude, so much politicking.
Right, and then
it was based. Then they had cliques.
Right.
Which make perfect sense. You know, you're Americans, you're Germans, you're Africans. Like.
Well, and then within those, there's separate cliques between the liberal and conservatives, or.
Because that's what it is. And at first I was like, I told you. I was like, I don't know if I could have done without the race thing, but. That's.
And it is. I mean, and.
The Americans had their ideal, which was, I can never remember what Lithgow's name was.
Oh, yeah.
I know Papilla.
No, Stanley Tucci was Bellini.
Bellini, that's what it is. And Lawrence.
Those are delicious, by the way.
I'm not going to even try the Italian guy.
Yeah.
Ignatius or something, I don't know.
Ignacio.
And then you had Hernandez, who we haven't even touched on yet.
No, yeah. So Lithgow was Tremblay.
That's it, Tremblay. Okay.
Ray Fiennes was Lawrence.
Bellini.
Adeyemi was the Kenyan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find the Italian guy. Oh, he was Tedesco.
That's it, Tedesco. And he was... When he pulled up, I don't have enough time to talk about that scene. I really don't.
It was like
he had
the shoulder pads,
a fucking cape, and slapping shit
he's
out
a fucking wrestler,
slapping shit out of his minion's hand, like old school. Like he thought he was in Rome. Not like
right.
The Colosseum. Rome. That's what I meant. Of course he was in Rome, bro. Yeah, no fucking shit. That's where the...
I will have my vengeance.
Smoking the cigarette.
Yeah.
And then dropping it.
Of course.
I was like, what are you doing? At least he was outdoors, right? They were like in a little courtyard. But then he just dropped it on the ground.
Well, I mean,
I don't think he stepped on it either.
Probably not.
Why do the Italians have to be the bad guys? I mean, history shows us why.
Well, but it's also, I mean, yeah, when you deliver those lines in that accent, it just carries so much farther.
He was speaking Italian pretty much the whole movie, and they had subtitles, and I had a hard time reading the subtitles because I could.
The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Nerlin Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.